ask Terry about some questions. Now this one is a big one. Terry, this is a ruling I had a question about the other day for you guys. I don't know if it's a procedural thing or not. You know, if a kid passes second and he has to go back to first on a tag out, he has to tag second, go back to first, right? What is the rule if you tag home? Do you have to tag home again, or do you just run back to third?
It's like any other base.
Sure is.
So in that game, I don't know if Terry, is that a umpire call, or does our coach have to appeal it?
Depends on what the league rules are.
That's why I'm asking, because I think that happened during the game Thursday night at home. You remember there was a fly ball to our shortstop, and he ended up catching it, and the kid had already ran home and scored. Well, of course, everybody says, run back, run back. Well, he just took off. He didn't tag home play. He went straight to third, and our kid threw it into left field, and then he scores anyway.
Yep.
So I'm not out there to appeal, and I didn't know if that was a coach needed to appeal, or is that a he missed it and that's just our too bad type thing.
There's the question that you're asking, because it's up to the coach to make sure. It's like missing bases.
That's
up to
I
him.
texted him, but he didn't get it in time.
I'm not going to sit there and tell a coach that kid missed second.
Right.
That kid missed third. And in the same game, a kid from the other team missed second and third, and nobody said nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? And those are things that happen. Even when I was doing a state tournament, when we called time, if the kid on running from first to second goes over the hash mark, then they got to stay at second. They cannot go back if they miss first.
Yep.
The play's already dead. If the other coach wants to appeal it and do what he's got to do to appeal the play, he's got to know. We cannot tell him.
Yeah, I tried to tell him.
You know.
I told him after the game, I was like, I'm pretty sure that's the rule. I wasn't 100% sure on home plate if there was just some type of different rule.
Same thing
or
on
not. So I didn't know if you had to re-tag home.
It's like a lot of people say if a ball, like you'll see it hit and hits right down and hits the plate and then bounce into the field of play. And I've had more than one coach say that's a foul. Hit the plate.
Now also with that though, at what point after he tags home is he considered out of the baseline or give himself up?
You can reestablish. You reestablish your base.
Mm-hmm.
You can reestablish.
No. What I'm saying is that once he tagged home, and he goes, let's say he runs over to the door of the dugout, don't go in.
He's got to go in the dugout.
And then I just want to know if his back's turned to the plate. What's that?
There's all kind of plays. That's like in that game. Also, they had a batter, and I even told the other coach, "Tell your batter don't throw the bat out in the field."
Which is hard to do.
I'm just saying, yeah, it is. But for Coach Pitch in North Carolina, if you throw your bat out there and the ball hits it, you're out. It's the same thing as you being in fair territory and the ball hitting you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But so a lot of people don't. I mean, the specific rules, a lot of people do not know them.
Well, right. Our head coach doesn't know any of them. Like he doesn't know anything about baseball. He's there to coach his son and be a good dad and everything. And I'm there to tell him the rules and stuff. And I knew, I knew that you had to tag the basket, but I just didn't know the procedural of like at home, tag the bag, umpire standing right there. I'm like, I don't know, Matt, if you needed to appeal. I texted him to appeal just in case, but he just didn't get it in time. That was just a question. That was the only question I had for that one. And let me think about anything else. I don't think
the rule in North Carolina, or not just North Carolina, but the rule in the rule book for what you talked about, Terry, is the batter is responsible for his bat. Right. It says that. So the batter is responsible for his bat. That's
this is another small, and this isn't just in the game, any games this week or any other time. This is just in general the 3 or 4 years I've been watching this. One thing I don't like about the kids baseball thing is that how we get a lot of the runs scored based on errors, and there's no element to call time in some leagues. Some leagues there are, like the T-ball there are. So one of the rules in this one is if the runner's running, the play's still going. So
unless you're in front of the lead runner,
we've had. So this is what happened the other night, Hunter, and you can call it what it is or whatever. And it's happened more. It happens all every team we play. But they've realized that our kids are young and cannot throw and catch the ball. So our first baseman had the ball, Hunter, so it gets by him, right? The kid hits the ball, we throw it away. Our first baseman runs it into the infield. He is standing 5 feet inside first base. the kid, when he tags second, the coach yells, score.
Mm-hmm.
Our first baseman is holding the ball, and the coach yells, score. Now, we talk about the, types of baseball we do. Let's not throw sidearm and this and that. But at no level, from middle school to high school, Tom, have you ever seen a kid with a first baseman holding the ball say, score from second base? That's not baseball. So our kid, what did he do? He threw it in the left field. The third baseman picked up, threw it by the catcher. So they hit a ball 10 feet and got a home run. That probably happens to us 5-6 times a game. We probably give up 50, 60 runs like that. And they're just so young. They can't do it. We got 2 kids that can throw and catch. But I don't know if there should be a rule, whether it's time, but whether if the kid's got the ball in the infield, maybe only advance 1 base as opposed to 4.
Got to be in front of the lead runner, and he's not in front of the lead runner.
Well, I know that's the rule. I'm saying as a sportsmanship type thing is the question.
The big deal here.
Like, coach, my first baseman has the ball. Well, no, here's the thing, Terry. This is a sportsmanship question, not a rule. The sportsmanship thing on it is my first baseman has the ball, and you told him to score from second. So you're assuming my team's going to mess up.
Mm-hmm. That's what you're saying.
Not you're assuming that we're going to beat a throw, like here comes a throw home, go, go, go. That's not it. You're assuming my team's going to mess up so bad that you can score from second. And then, I know this isn't, I don't know the exact rule. I'm guessing you can't have so many on this side of second base. This team ran a shift on us. Did you see the shift?
Mm-hmm.
I guess they can't come across second, but they put their shortstop or second right on the second base line every time. So our kids who can't hit it 15 feet already, the coach is running them when we have the ball in the infield because he knows we can't throw and catch it. The president of our league has already told us we have to throw and catch it or they will not call us out. I don't know how they do it at West Lincoln. We were told we can't tag runners, Tom. Now, we'll get to that silliness in a little bit. So that's the plan, is let's just run them and hope your kids mess up. And I'm not sure. And so, again, he's running a shift. So if our kids do hit it, they've got 4 people on one side of the field. And I know, let's go backside. Hunter, does Freddie Freeman go backside? He has to hit against the shift, and he's one of the best hitters in baseball. And we want our 5-year-olds to go backside on that.
Well, what I'd say there is if you modify rules, you're trying to either increase participation. That's
right.
Like courtesy run a rule or something. You're trying to maintain integrity of the game. Mm-hmm. When you have rules that take away from the integrity of the game, such as you can't tag a runner or you can't run and go tag the base, I really don't understand what you're trying to do. Like, I understand like a courtesy runner rule. I understand like designated hitter for any player you want, how we modify rules in youth baseball. But if you're going to modify rules, why are you taking away from the integrity of the game?
The only difference, and this is me, as many as I've done, if you take T-ball and they got a circle out there for the kid that's in it, we're trying to teach the kids to throw to first base because that's your best player most of the time in T-ball, your pitcher.
Right.
And if it's hit back to him, they're trying to teach him to throw to first, not underhanded, but throw to first base where your first baseman's learning to catch, he's learning to throw, instead of him running a runner down, running to first. If he's in the circle, if he catches it outside the circle, he can run them down. See what I'm saying? And that circle's pretty big, but
I see what you're saying, but to me, I've seen players at higher levels. That pitcher just takes that ball himself. I mean, I've seen
he does. They do.
And
we had a shortstop tag second, and they told him he had to throw it to the second baseman, Terry.
And I've also seen like go 4 or 5 steps and just.
We had a shortstop tag second base on a force out, and he said he had to throw it to the second baseman. See, that caught him safe.
Okay, that didn't happen over there.
No. I'm just telling you the silliness that I'm dealing with right now.
You're taking away from the integrity of the game, and Kevin and I talked about it for a long time. I just don't understand why. You're going to make rules like that. Now that kid has to remember to throw the ball. And I understand what you're saying. Well, when he's 15 years old, he's going to have to, and he's in a varsity game or whatever, he's going to have to do that.
7.
But exactly. They're 6 and 7. Yeah. And as young men progress, rules get different, but I don't understand that rule at that stage of their.
But it comes back to the coach. If the coach is out there and the runner comes running in like first, like we was talking about on this other play, if he never throws it, he's going to cut that runner off anyway. That's probably one of the best players on the team over on first. So if he just comes straight on in, he's going to cut that runner. That runner hadn't even barely rounded second on his way to third.
Hunter,
I do remember that.
Do you
play.
think it's good sportsmanship, running a shift and running players from second, knowing our little 6 and 7 year olds are going to throw it away?
I think there's 6 and 7. Now, some people just taking it too serious.
Listen to me. Let me
like,
tell you something.
What is going on out here?
I have seen coaches who go out there and they're going to drill you. They know it's 7 runs in and we play 5. I had a coach a question what I was doing the other day because I said we play 5 innings. Really, Coach Pitch goes 6 innings. And in the bottom of the 6, if I'm down 20-1, I can score 19 runs and tie this game up when I can't score but 7 every other inning.
Right.
So those are rules that are in there, but we don't play 6, so we play 5. I tell them we're playing 5. So I'm not getting in that. I'm going to score a ton of runs in the bottom of the 6 to tie this game up.
Well, that's funny. Tommy mentions that because the incident I'm going to bring up happened in the 6th inning. Terry, have you or Tom ever had a crew chief, not an umpire, okay, not someone on the field, throw a coach out of a baseball game?
I've not had that. I've had.
Have you ever been standing behind
crew
home
chief
plate,
come
Terry?
and yank 2 umpires in
Terry,
a ball game?
have you? Terry. Have you ever had whoever's in charge of you while you're humping home? You have not said a word to any coaches. You've not talked to any of them about any problems. Come over and say, Mister, telling you at home plate, Terry, throw that coach out. He's ejected. And hasn't said a word to you about why.
No, the question with that, and I'm not saying who it is and what it is. If I am the head and it's my guys over here, I'm going to watch it. And then after the game, the first 2 people I'm talking to is my 2 umpires. Because I'm talking to the one who's at home because he's the head guy. I'm going to speak to him and say, this is what you should have done. I'm not interfering with that game. That's not my game.
Have you ever seen a whoever's running a tournament or field interfere in a game actually make a call, Terry? He made a dead ball call. The umpires missed, the play where you appeal if it went off his feet or no, I'm sorry. That one wasn't that one. It hit the pitcher. And they let him play. Nobody appealed or said anything.
It's automatically dead.
But neither umpire said anything and neither coach said anything. Is that not an appeal thing if they miss it again, right? If the umpires missed that play. He called it from outside the fence. He called time, stopped the game, and told them the play.
He should not be involved in that game. Maybe in between innings, maybe call the guy back there to him at the fence.
100%. Hey guys, y'all
missed that one.
I've umpired. I've played. I've coached. I know all the procedures. So here's what's going on. Let's see. There's a coach that's keeping score on the side, who's basically the hitting coach, who is the number 2 in charge, who is there to tell the kids, hey, put your elbows up, whatever. Hey, you're next to bat. And the other thing he does is picks up every bat the kids lay down after they hit. Now, Terry, as an umpire, do you want to pick up the bats?
I do. I prefer not to, but I do quite a lot.
Do you want the catchers to go chasing bats?
No.
Okay.
They should never be doing that.
Is it helpful when the coach on the side comes and gets the bats?
It's fantastic.
Would you rather have them standing in the dugout waiting for you to bring them the bat?
Well, I've had that happen to me quite often, too.
But is that what you want is what I'm asking?
No, because
Okay.
I'm going to tell you what happens on most of that, and this is nothing about it. But a lot of times when I'm taking the bat back over to them, they're already pitching the next pitch.
Or you hit a kid, walks
you know.
into it. Yeah. But anyway, so our coach is picking the bat up between bats. This is the 6th inning of a ball game. Walking back, his son is standing at the batter's box, but there is no batter's box because they don't draw the batter's box in
we
this
have
league.
them up at ours. Yeah.
I know. I noticed that. They don't have a batter's box, Tom. So now remember, this same coach has picked up 40 bats already today. This same coach has also asked the umpire 4 or 5 times, can I draw the line? Because some of our kids, because on their bat speed, either bat at the front or the back of it. Some of them get on the plate. We got a lefty who swings dead inside. And if you don't stand on the plate, he won't hit it.
Yeah.
So when I walk by, my son stands at the plate and says, Daddy, where do you want me to stand? I hit him on the head, said, back up 2 steps. I love you. Walked off. I walked to the dugout, stood at the dugout, turned around to watch the play. All of a sudden, I hear, Mr. Umpire, tell that coach to get his butt back in the dugout. I turned around like, what just happened? And I saw the guy standing there. I was like, well, I guess he said it, but I didn't. What's he talking? I didn't say nothing. Haven't said a word to him. So Austin gets up ready to hit, and I didn't get in the dugout because the umpire didn't say anything. So I took a couple steps towards it, and he turns around and says, tell him to get in the dugout. And he turns around and says, you got to get in the dugout. And I said, why? He goes, because he told me, because he said so. I said, did I do anything wrong? He said, I have no idea why he said it. I said, okay. So turn around, walk back dugout. That was it. That's the interaction with me and the umpire. The whole rest of the day, like I said, I was picking up bats. Thank you, sir. Can I stand my kids here? So then inning ends. Inning's over. We're sitting there. The players are on the field. I look over there, and the umpires have walked by back to talk to them, like you said, between ends. This would be a good time to question and not interrupt the game. Hey, why do I got to stand over here? So I walk over there. Now, Terry, the umpires are on the field. The president is behind the fence, and I'm behind the fence too. So I walk over there, and I was like, hey, guys, why do I got to stand in the dugout? Is there something wrong? He goes, you can't be out there with those other coaches. You can't coach that kid right there. I said, I can't coach my son? He said, you can't be out there telling him what to do. I said, what? I said, I picked the bat up, and he said, where to stand. He said, you can't do that. I said, why? He said, there's 3 coaches out there. There's a third base coach, a pitcher, and a first base coach. If any of them want to tell him where to stand, they can do it, but you can't. I said, why? You're the scorekeeper. You need to be over there in the dugout. I said, I was picking the bat up. My son asked. He said, I'm not arguing with you. I said, but you're wrong about this. I don't even know what you're talking about. You're not even umpiring. He said, get over in the dugout. I said, you're not the umpire. I didn't do anything wrong. He said, you're out of here.
From outside the fence.
From outside the fence, the president. I did not cuss. I did not raise my voice. I didn't call him a name. Terry, have you ever thrown anybody out that did not cuss you, call you a name, disrupt the field, or anything? All I said was, you're wrong. You're not the umpire. And I said, you can't eject me. You're not the umpire. He said, I'm the president, and I'll do what I want. Again, did not cuss, did not raise my voice, did not do anything. So then we started arguing about why you don't have any power to throw me out of this game right now because I didn't do anything. Well, I know the rules. He said, you're getting out of here. He said, well, I'm going to call the police. So you're going to call the police? He said, you got to go. Okay, I'm not moving. He turned around and looked at the umpires. He goes, you guys, he's been ejected. He's got to go. And he turned around and walked off. I said, you're standing right here next to me. Don't turn around and be. This is when the name calling started. One name. I went back to the future on him. I said, don't be a big old chicken and tell them to eject me. You're standing right here next to me. He turned around and said, you need to leave, sir. I said, I didn't do anything. I'm not leaving. So I'm outside the fence already, Terry. I'm not even on the field. So I'm standing there next to, again, let's start this. We had 12 people there to watch my kids play because of the death in my family. Yeah. He is standing there, not knowing that he's in the middle of all 12 of them, arguing with me about this. So then I say, I'm not leaving. This is the last inning. I'm standing here and watching this game. He said, you got to go to the parking lot. I said, I can't see from the parking lot. He said, you got to go to the parking lot. I said, you are not the umpire. He said, if you don't leave, I'm calling the police. I said, what did I do? He said, I tell you what, if you don't leave, I'm kicking you and your children out of this league and calling the police. He said, I'm kicking you and your children out. Now, remember, Terry, what started this? I tapped my son on the head and told him to back up in the batter's box. And now this guy is threatening to throw me in a cage. He don't know if my family's there. What's he going to do, call DSS on my children because I told my kid to stand in the batter's box? Who's taking them home, Dodo? Brought up the children, Terry. I'm kicking your children out of the league. So this is when I did lose my cool. I yelled at everyone on the field. I said, attention, everyone. Attention, everyone. The president of the league just threatened to throw my children out of the league because I told my son where to bat in the batter's box. And everybody just kind of stops and looks back at it. He says, get out of here. I said, no. And I walked by him and I yelled it again. It's the exact same words. He's threatened to throw our children out for standing in the batter's box. Y'all have a good game. This is in the 6th inning. We are winning our first game, Terry, by 4 runs. The only game of the year. And he started this mess over me telling my son where to bat in the batter's box. And he got pissy because I told him he was wrong and didn't have the authority to throw me out of this game when he's not an umpire. And I didn't do anything wrong. Now, that's the story. I don't know what you've been told or what you've heard. That's the exact thing that happened. I told my coach that story. He didn't even see it. He's at third base. He talked to the guy and he said, well, he told me the same thing. I'm like, I know. That's what happened. So now, after threatening to kick my kids out of the league, do I come back and play there next year? Do I even come back Tuesday? Because he called our coach and said, hey, he can't be on the field anymore in coaching. Again, over the fact my kid was in the batter's box and I told him where to stand between batters. Now, do I come back Tuesday? Now, here's the thing. We started this league, Terry. His team, he's the president, coach, and umpire. His team's got 13 kids. Our team has 11. One of them quit. I have 2 kids. How many kids can you start a game with, Terry?
It depends. Yeah, over at our league, if you come with 7, we're going to let you play with your 7.
Guess what? Y'all going to be playing 7 on 13 this year. Because am I supposed to bring my kid back out and we play his team Tuesday? Am I just going to drop my kids off and let this jackwagon be in control of my children?
Wait a minute. You got to play the president of the team.
Yes. And I've been banned from coaching, and all I did was tell my son where to stand. Now, what are you supposed to do as a dad, coach, or whatever in any of that?
This sounded like when he told me the story, it sounded like does the beef go back?
I've never talked to this guy.
That's what he said. It didn't make any sense.
Ever.
Like, I could see that happening if there's a long-standing he said.
We've never been warned about coaches doing anything, Terry. We've had you've refed our games.
Yeah.
Our guys, listen, you talk about people being nice. Are our guys any nicer?
You cannot be no nicer than your guys are.
Does anybody on our team argue with the ump or say anything bad or anything?
The only thing that they might come and ask us, and this is how they do it. Look, I'm learning this. Can you tell me what happened there? That's how they do it.
Matt doesn't know.
Yeah.
And I'm there to just say, hey, Matt, this is the rule. Appeal this. Hey, Matt, this is the rule. And then he kicks me out. So they definitely don't know. They're out there blind right now. And you know why I'm holding the scorebook? If you want to say, well, you're just the scorekeeper. Well, guess what? Guess who's the one that knows how to use the scorebook? Yeah. So we're going to give it to somebody that don't know how? I mean, come on. This is just silly. And if I had cussed somebody or gotten someone's face or did anything on the field, I probably did something wrong. Did not raise my voice until he threatened my children. And that's when it come out.
First of all, and as I'm sitting here and I'm in here with you and any people on television, this bothers you, and I understand that a lot.
You want to coach your children.
You know what I'm saying? And I can understand him turning around, and it's not his place. It's the head umpire's place that's on the field. This is how he learns, and that's how I teach my guys. You are over this. If I mention something to you, look, I'm not in your game. I'm just going to come and maybe say something if you mess up on something. Hey, don't let this happen again. But I'm going to do it with me and them 2 umpires standing at that fence, and I'm not going to be loud. I'm just going to tell them, and then I'm going to walk away like no big deal. I was up there just to speak to something. But on the other hand, it's his place, that umpire who is the head umpire, to do it. But now I have been in places that I have seen a head umpire chief come and toss 2 guys out that were on the field. And the reason being he did this because somebody had scheduled him, which it should have been this older guy should have done it, but he didn't schedule them. But they put 2 guys on the field in a coach pitch game that did not know the rules. They had never done coach pitch, and they were out there calling it different ways.
These rules aren't anywhere close to the rules of baseball.
That's what I'm saying. It's totally different, and he yanked both of them. And I'm going to tell you what happened on this. They come into the dugout where we was at. The rest of us umpires, we had our own little space. They come in there, and he looks at me, and he said, Terry, will you go to field 2? And I said, okay, yeah. I mean, I'm not thinking anything is wrong.
Right.
I grab my stuff.
You just go umpire.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. He goes, they're in the 5th inning. I'll pay you for it. I said, okay. I grab my stuff. He says, Shep will be with you here in a minute. Shep's another older guy. Me and him both said, we'll go get it. We've done it. So we and him jump out there. We finish it. We come back. Next thing I know, the 2 umpires he tossed are mad at us for doing it. Well, we never knew what was going on.
Yeah,
but then at the end of the game, here's what happens. We never got paid. No big deal. I mean, no big deal about that. Right. But, hey, no big deal. Because them other 2 umpires took the money. They said, we had the game. Right. We do it. I said, cool, that's fine with me. But then on the back end of that, one of the umpires got on social media putting us down. And I sent him a text. I sent him a text, me to him, nobody else.
He's got his money, Hunter,
you know,
putting him down on
like,
social media.
look, this is not how this is done. And first of all, this is what happened. And I went over. Well, that guy has nothing to do with me, and I could care less because I had no idea what was happening. But on your end, hey, it's a young guy. I can see them umpires turning around and saying, look, this coach has got to be gone. Coaches, if he does not leave, then this game's going to be over. Look, you got 5 minutes for him to leave. That gives him plenty of time. You know,
None of our argument on the field, nothing ever happened on the field with anybody.
See,
the only reason the umpires were notified of anything on that field was that he called them over and then said something.
But to me, what probably happened is, and this is why you can't say, well, this is probably what's happening in these leagues. When a coach comes up to the box like that, he's usually like they automatically assume, oh, he's trying to intimidate the umpire. He's coming up there to the box and saying something such as like some of these dumb little league coaches, you better swing at anything because this umpire's going to call everything a strike.
I've heard that.
You'll get idiot coaches go
like
up
that.
to the box and do that.
That sounds like something Hunter would do.
And that
That's how Hunter would coach.
and that really that's why I can understand why. But that's usually at little like 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds, not 8-year-olds. That and this is part of the reason why I don't do 8-year-olds and stuff because you got just too many idiots.
My son, Nathan, love him to death. My son will tell me flat out, don't put me in no T-ball. Don't put me in no coach pitch because them people on the outside and on the inside sometimes do not know what's happening.
No.
That's how he told me.
No, that's what I was
I mean, I would rather do a regular ball game than deal with that.
Yeah.
I had one more question for Hunter before we moved on. I'm going to think about it probably later. Terry's little story for their guy I'm going, but it's just to me just a ridiculously stupid situation over the dumbest thing ever. Like, when you do something wrong, like if I didn't break a rule in the field, I didn't do anything from that point of view. I think it was handled terribly. Whoever handled it, again, Terry, I 100%. If he had just been between me and the umpire, I'd be like, hey, this is why you got to stand here. This is the rule. Only 3 people can be out there. I don't even know if that's a rule.
What was the bottom line, though, on this? And when it was all over, you could not be at the next game?
No, I can't coach right now, period, until his feelings are better.
Okay.
Until his feelings are better, Terry.
Well, might not be better now.
I hurt his feelings, Terry. This grown man, I hurt his poor feelings by telling him he was wrong and had no authority to throw me out of the game when I didn't even do anything wrong, and he's not the umpire. Off the field. We weren't on the field. It's not like I'm saying this had nothing to do with it. And then when you went with the children, that's when I'm drawing the line on that. Yeah. I'm going to kick your children out of the league, Terry. Those came out of the mama standing next to me almost lost her, on that one. So anyway, that's the story again, Hunter. I had one more. I did have something to tell you, but I can't remember what it was. We'll get back to it later. But we're going to come back talk Braves baseball, and Hunter's going to get excited here. NLCS, Dodgers.
Ain't nobody can beat us.
Right now, y'all got the best pitching team in baseball, right?
Yeah, right now.
We knew this coming into the playoffs, right?
Or you could just say it was a good draw playing the Marlins.
Or the staff's going to shut everybody down.
It was a good draw playing the Marlins.
As long as you win, who you against you play against.
You sound like a LeBron fan right now, don't it? Just whoever you play, right?
You got to win the game.
We got to talk about that game last night because I stayed up to watch that daggone game. Did you watch it, Terry?
Yes.
All right, so we've got some video and audio coming up in just a little bit. We've got NASCAR audio. We've got video of bad predictions gone wrong. And then I've got video on JP, don't we, Hunter?
Yes.
We've got some incriminating evidence
before you
on
go
JP that we have to talk about, guys. We have a serious subject.
What I was kind of getting wrapped up in is real quick. Why did the Fords do so bad at Talladega?
I don't know.
They didn't run well. I was thinking about that because I was kind of lost in my own thoughts. I was looking over there and I was like, why are so many Chevrolets up there? Because you've been trashing Chevrolet the whole.
What's the name? Where was it at, Tom?
I want to say it was Toyota.
No. Where was it at?
Talladega.
Yeah. Okay. There's your answer.
Okay. Is that what it is?
I mean,
everybody's at the front.
Okay.
All right, JP. We'll be back in a minute. KDCBroadcasting.com.
We always tell our kids that there's no such thing as a money tree. But did you know at Friendship Nissan in Forest City, we kind of do have a money tree? Our money tree gives a $500 better price on any new Nissan, and that's a $500 guarantee that we put in writing. We have no haggle clear choice pricing, the region's only non-commissioned sales force, and we have the only lifetime warranty with no time or mileage limits. So you see, at Friendship Nissan, we kind of do have a money tree, and we're located in Forest City.
Spending too much time at home with nothing to do? Then go shopping. That's right, go shopping at whatsupshopper.com. Local area businesses are featuring their products and services on whatsupshopper.com. You can also play our contest, listen to the swap shop, and more. Make it one of your favorites. There are also valuable coupons from area businesses. And as they say, let your fingers do the walking and shop online at whatsupshopper.com. You'll love it. Plumbing problems? Well, if you're not an expert plumber, then we invite you to call the Expert Plumbers. That's Olmsted Plumbing in Forest City. Just call 828-245-7302. Recommended since 1973. From faucets to sinks to toilets, from sewer and drains to well pumps, from dishwashers to disposals to bathroom remodeling, residential and commercial, new homes too. Don't let your plumbing problems drive you plumb crazy. Call Olmsted Plumbing in Forest City. 828-245-7302 or visit the website at olmstedplumbing.com.
Cameron Spangler of Crest High School is this month's McDonald's WOHS What's Up Shopper Scholar Athlete of the Month. Cameron is the daughter of Gary and Kelly Spangler and is a senior at Crest High School. She plays volleyball and softball and has a grade point average of 4.625. Cameron takes a multiple of AP and honor courses and is also taking classes at Cleveland Community College. She's a member of the Beta Club Science Olympiad, National Honor Society, National CTE Society. She also plays travel softball and volleyball. She's a member of the Double Shoals Baptist Church and Youth. She assists with the North Shelby Christmas Party and a volunteer for the Junior Civitan and Beta clubs. After graduation, she plans to attend NC State University and major in business management and marketing. After college, she plans to be a wedding event planner. The McDonald's KTC Broadcasting What's Up Shopper Scholar Athlete Award is to recognize a student athlete not only for accomplishments in athletics, but also for overall achievements in the classroom and for overall school and community citizenship.
There's something special about the rush you get when your fingers pull the throttle and everyone else can just try to keep up. It's the kind of endless thrill you'll only experience on a Yamaha Wave Runner. Whether you're in it for the effortless fun of the affordable EX Series or the supercharged luxury of the FX Series, Yamaha Wave Runners always help you kick your weekend into high gear. See one today at Full Throttle Power Sports, 100 Indian Walk off I-85 in Lowell.
It's time to play at the Green Meadows Golf Course on Kelly Road in Mount Holly. Play and ride Monday through Friday for $25. Weekends just $30. Seniors ride and play Monday through Friday for $20. And every Wednesday is Ladies' Day. Ladies play and ride for just $15. So make your tee time now by calling the Green Meadows Golf Course, 704-827-9264. Green Meadows Golf Course, 957 Kelly Road in Mount Holly.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin and the guys, and I'm a little curious in this video evidence of me.
Oh, we've got video evidence of you committing a crime, JP, and we're gonna have to talk about that in just a little bit. No, maybe not committing a crime, more say as perjury. You have definitely perjured yourself. We'll put it that way. So that is your crime. Some people, depending on what party you're in, Tom, go to jail for that. But you know how that goes. All right, Hunter, I remembered my question.
Yes.
And this is just to end up the last thing. We're going to talk Atlanta Braves baseball. Let's say if you're Terry, who's allowed to talk to the umpires on the field? Head coach?
I only talk to head coaches.
If the assistant coach yells at the umpire about anything, most of the time, I would assume you'd get thrown out. I know how that works. But if I'm out there yelling at the umpire wrong, that's not what you're going to deal with, right?
No, if they approach me, I might talk to them. If they come at me yelling at me, I'm not talking to them at all.
So, Hunter, with that said, if you're on the field and I can't yell at the umpire as an assistant, but if I'm told to leave the field and I can't coach anymore, but I can be a fan, now I can yell at the umpires all I want, right? So every time that guy's team has 4 coaches that touch their feet on that field. Come on, Blue! There's 4 coaches out there. Let's go.
You can yell as long.
Can I not do that?
You can do whatever you want to because we ignore it unless you start cursing or stuff like that or talking about another kid. Then we turn around and we're going to send you.
Every call, Terry, 36 outs, I can yell, come on, Blue. Can I not?
Yeah.
Whether it's right or wrong.
Every call, every pitch.
Okay. So that's the bed we're laying in right now if that's what we're going to do. If I'm showing up to the ball games as a fan, that's what you wanted. That's the dragon you unleashed.